Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadashivasmarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Aspadacharya Parindam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Babadu Sakana Punaktu Sakaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. So we are seeing the Kathopanishad. We saw up to the 10th sloka. So Nachiketa has gone to the Lord of Death. He is facing. Death has not come to him, but he has gone to the death. So there he was given 3 boons to ask. The reason being he was an atiti, an uninvited guest. We saw in the last class how the atitis are important to be hosted. And Lord of Death, being a Nyayavan, realized that he has made a mistake of not treating him well for the 3 nights. So he bestows upon him 3 boons that he may wish to ask. So he asked the first wish we saw in the last class. That wish was to fulfill the debt he owes to the parents. Why? Because he intervened his father's puja, yagyam. Father got angry and upset. He made a curse, or in anger said, I will give you to death. And he had to follow his words. So he is not happy, even though he committed the yagyam fully. So Nachiketa wants to make him happy. So what he said, Shanta Sankalpaha Sumana Yada Syat Vidamanyu Gautamu Abhimrityo Tattastastam. So when you are releasing me, O Mrityu, my father would really become a Shanta Swarupa, peaceful. Sukham Sumanaha, very blissfully poised. That means the anger is gone. Vidamanyu. So he has to become happy man. Please give me, because that is my Edatrayanam Pradamam Varam Vrune. Vrune means I am asking of the 3 boons, that's the first one. So we saw that. Now what did Yama say? So we go to the next one. Yada Purastat Bavida Prakita Audalagi Arunir Matprastishtaha Sukam Ratri Saida Vidamanyuhu Tvam Dat Shivan Mrittimukat Pramuktam. Mrittimukat Pramuktam. So what he's saying, Yama is now granting the boon. It's very interesting. The way he is giving the boon, what he's saying, Yata Purastat Bhavita. Yata Purastat. That means Purastat means before how your father was as a loving person, loving to you, kind person to you. He will become that Bhavita. When Pratita, when he is looking at you and recognize you as that you are his son. Why is he saying this? Because once you go to the Yamaloka, and I don't know how you will come back, what kind of shape you are in. So he says, don't worry, you would be well recognized by him. Because that's what he wanted. My father needs to be as before. His anger is gone. Audhalaki arunihe mat prastashtaka. So I think it's mat prastashtaka. As a blessed by me, you, Nachiketa, when you are seen by your father, who is his father? Audhalaki arunihi. So he's giving adjectives here. No? Audhalakar's lineage, Some say his name is Audalagar, but some say, Rama is called what? Dasharatiki. Dasharatiki means son of Dasharatha. Kakustak. Rama is called Kakustak. Because Kakusta Maharaja, Maharishi was a lineage. Kakusta. Ishwagu lineage. So like this, in those days, if a lineage is, to maintain the lineage glory, you are always addressed by your lineage. So here he says, Audhalaki, Arunir, we saw Gautama, a lot of names. I mean, it's not important to remember that, but I think it's what you leave behind, the legacy of your good deeds to a family. So your children, your sons and daughters should be known by your good virtues. That's what it means. So that kind of a lineage, so that Audalakar, that Aruni, that Gautama, that your father will recognize you. And as a result of what? Sukam Ratrihi Saita Vitamanyuhu. Sukam Ratrihi. It's beautifully saying, he will sleep well in the night. See, the sleep is the measure of happiness. Happiness is not how much money you have, how luxurious things that you possess or adore, or it's not. How well you sleep. How happily you go to sleep. How happily you sleep. How happily you get up from sleep. This is very important. You might have lots of money, stocks are in the, performing badly in the market, you can't sleep. You're hungry, can't sleep. So there are a lot of issues in the world. Vyavakarikam takes away the sleep. And sleep is something which normally you don't desire for as a deliberate karma. Because like breathing, sleep comes to you. It's a grace. Only when those who suffer from lack of sleep, only when you have the cold and the breathing becomes difficulty, you understand how important breathing is, right? Like that sleep, if you don't have a sleep, then you realize how important sleep is. Sleep is something which is unblemished. I'm talking about the deep sleep, not the nightmares and the dreams. Deep sleep is unblemished sukham. Because every sukham in this world is what? Sukham is mixed with the dukkham, or dukkham parading as a sukham. Mishra. But deep sleep is unblemished sukham. It is anandam. So, therefore he's saying, sukham ratriki sayitaha. Because he has Vitamanyu, who all his anger, guilt, and he had a guilt. I sent my son to the death. I didn't complete my yajnam happily. All that is gone. Maybe it's forgotten. Ignorance is a bliss, takes away. But how does it all happen? Because Swam, for means yours, that is Shivan. Darshanam, by looking at you, by seeing your vision in front of him, how are you seen? Mrityumukat pramuktam. Mrityumukat. Mukam means the face. From the death's jaw, the jaw of death, pramuktam. Mukta means liberation. Pramukta means beautifully, completely liberated. You are liberated from the jaws of the death. It's very important. What he says is that the Father now understands the glory of the Son, returns as a Mrityunjaya. Because he faced death. See, the facing death brings us fear, right? We always fear death. See, Nachiketa's story, the Kathopanishad's Tathparyam, even the most Drishyapalam of Kathopanishad, when you listen to it with Shraddha and Bhakti, even though you are not able to contemplate on the Brahmajnana import of it, but even the listening of the story and understanding how Nachiketa fought, faced death, makes you free from the fear of death. Vitamanyu. You know, I think it's 1999 or 1999. I remember the story about a pilot called Nachiketa, Kambambatti Nachiketa Rao. It's an Indian Air Force pilot. You know, he ejected from the. I think he was in the jaws of death. He was driving as a wing commander. He's take the big fight, goes into the enemy territory, and he was shot down. And he tried very hard to fight to save the flight, but he has to eject, and he destroys all these secrets of the Indian Army, Indian Air Force. Got caught by the enemies. Frightening time, but he stood steadfast. Maybe his name has given him the courage. I don't know. Because Nachiketa, name itself is such a beautiful name. So Nachiketa faced death. See, what is facing death means? It's not like you lie down on a sick bed and you're frightened about the death because you think I am going to die. So death will overwhelm me. So you inherit the bhayam into the bhavam, into the mrityu itself, because you think you are an object that is dying. But if you face the death, what is facing death means? You see it. If you see that, what it means? It means it is a drishyam. Understand? Whatever you see is what is seen by you as an object of contemplation, object of experience. It is not you. Like seeing a house. So the moment you can see death as a drishyam, you are a drishta, it cannot touch you. What happened then? Then it becomes an atiti to you, a guest to you. It respects you, you respect it. It can become a mitra, can become a guru. Here we are going to see how Nachiketa faced it, and the death becomes a guru. Then there is no death. So it is only a transfer of one embodiment to another, and this Yama, who we fear, is mere conveyor of the transportation, a mere agent of transition. And the transition is inevitable because this physical body has a definite expiry date. But it is not a destruction of me. This is very important to understand. The whole purpose of Kathopanishad is this fear should go away. Not when you are 90 years old, 100 years old, when you're on the deathbed. Because that time it may just give you consolation, but not confidence. Confidence you need when you are young, when you're 7 years, 8 years, like Nachiketa, is that death is not to be frightened of, because death is not end, but a new beginning. And there is an agent of death who will facilitate the new beginning for me. So I need to really plan my transition accordingly, depending on where I want to go. And that knowledge comes from the Vedas. Therefore, I respect Vedas, and with Shraddha, I study it. This is the whole purpose of it. So here he is. So he faced death. So The point we should take is never fear death. Doesn't matter. Okay. So what has Yaman has done, Lord of Death has given him the first boon for him. Now this boon is for what? For the family. So he has finished his obligation as a putra. So this is important. So even though you are going to Brahma Vidya, Jnanam and all that, it is necessary that you fulfill your duty as a son. There is no way. I mean, we're going to see later. We saw in Kathopanishad. You have to do karma. You have to do karma for the whole world, but only after you take care of what you need to take care of a family. There's no point in doing social service if you don't feed your family. But if you feed your family but don't do social service, that's also not good. You have to do both. So the renam that you have, that you discharge your duties, that Nachiketa has shown to us. Okay. Now what happened? So first boon is finished. The second boon, now he's saying, Nachiketa starts, he thinks, my father did this yajnam for what? You to attain something. You do something to attain because you feel that you don't have it, and you feel that by having it you will be happy. Otherwise you won't do it, isn't it? Anything that you do in life is because attainment, accomplishment, achievement. But it is generally about things that will give you happiness or to your family happiness, and you don't have it. So he thinks, my father did all this Viswajit Yajnam to do what? To go to Swarga. So therefore, he is now telling Lord of Death, what is Swarga? Swargalokena Bayam Kinchanasti. Na Tattvam Na Jaraya Bibheti. Ube Kitva Ashanaya Pipase Shokatito Motate Swargaloke. Swargaloke na Bayam Kinchanasti. He's telling, I think we should take this, he doesn't have Nachiketa Uvacha, Yama Uvacha, all that is not there. I think we should understand. So this is Nachiketa telling Lord of Death. O Mrityu, Swargalokena Bayam Kimcha Nasti. There is something called a Swargaloka. There, Bayam Kimcha Nasti. There is not even a little bit of fear. Now, he is making a statement. How does he know this? How does he know there is a Swargaloka? Who told him that? It's because he knows, because he was reading Vedas and he has a Shraddhavan on Vedas. He believes in Vedas, and Vedas talk about the Swargaloka. By doing certain karmas, you attain a Swargaloka. So now, no one can prove it except you have a Shraddha and the Vedas and do it. So you can look at the Swargaloka as a physical plane first. So there is somewhere there's a Swargam. Let's just take it just now. And Nachiketa is saying, Swargaloke, in the Swargaloka, Kinchinasti Nabhayam. Not even a little fear is there. Because fear is the main thing. Fear is what makes you drive Ragadvesham. You like something because you fear something else. You hate something because you fear something else. Fear is the propeller of action. So where there is no fear, there is abhayam. So Kathopanishad is all about abhayam. He says, in the Swargaloka, there is no fear. Why there is no fear? Na tatra tvam na jaraya bivedi. Oh, what he's saying now? This is about how the child speak, innocent, brave, clear. Hey, Lord of death. In the Swarga, there is no fear. Why? Na tatra. You are not there. You are not there. So he's telling me, you are the one causing fear to everybody else. You are not there in Swarga. That means people don't die. Immortality. Well, I don't die, but what about if I'm just there 95, 99 years and just 100 years, 101 years, just slogging on the bed? Everybody need to help me to eat a meal. Is it a life I want to live? So it says, na jaraya bibeti. So jara means old age. Na jaraya. You don't have old age. So therefore, nobody, bibeti is the third person singular. So nobody fears that old age. That means you remain young, Chiranjeevi. So if you go to Swarga, this is what Vedas says, and Nachiketa quotes, if I reach Swarga, I will remain as young. Okay, from say, uh, 30 years. Siddhasa. So you have 30 years, you're always 30 years. Or 16 years, I don't know whatever the age is. You remain as it is in Swarga. Yama doesn't come, you don't have fear. Now, I think we should take it, this one, clearly as a relative term. Immortality, amrtatvam, all these things, what it actually means is that relative to living in the world, on the earth, how far it is. So you may live, here you will live for 120 years max, they say, as a human being. There you may live for maybe 5,000 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years, I don't know. But there is a relatively longer span of life. That's okay to live that long because you will not be getting old. But would I get bored? That's up to you. Would I not do any job? Well, you do some job. When you go there, you become a lokapalaka. Depending on who you are, how much of punyam are done, you may done a lokapalaka. You become assistant to Yama, or you may become a Yama. You may become a Kinnara, Gandharva. You do a lot of bhajan in this world, and you go there, you become a Kinnara. You sing, celestial singer. Then you think, oh, that means there's also degradation or gradation. Obviously, because you go there because you've done punya. So the token that you carry is the punya. So if you and I go there and you have done a lot of punya than me, obviously, but I cannot come there and claim the equality of it. Oh, that means there's an inequality there? Probably. So would I get purnatvam? Probably not. But I get sukham, yes. Is it amishram without any fear of shugam going away? No. Billions of years you can eat some 8-course meal, witness the dances of Ramba, Urvashi, do some lokapalikam, you can live. So that's how we should take it. So immortality there is, see, if it is completeness, why should Nachiketa ask for the third boon? If Swarga is the end of all, Story ends, Kathopanishad stops here, right? He doesn't need anything anymore. So he further qualifies. Ashanaya vipasya. Ashana means hunger. Hunger and thirst are the two instinct natural drivers for your survival. If you have to eat something, you're thirsty on it because there is a fire inside you. So if you have a question about, okay, I won't get old, I won't have death for a long, long, long time, but what about my food and thirst? He said, no, you don't have. You obey these two kirtva. I mean, you surpass all those things. You will be thirstless, hungerless. Then what about Somabanam? Yeah, you can drink it if you want it. But you don't need to drink it because you won't have thirst on it. Become a bogam for you. It is not artham anymore. See, I'm giving you the good side of Swarga, but also giving you a potential boredom that you may have there. But that's what it is saying. But important point is, you will be Sokadiko Modade Swargaloki. So all the Shokam, you transcend the Shokam. You have, because why the Shokam transcend? Because you don't have this natural fear of hunger and thirst, old age, death. So all my things gone. So I am in the Swargaloke, Motate, Modam, Modaka Hasta, Modakam. Modam means joy, Anandam, unblemished Anandam. So whoever gives Anandam is Lord Ganesha, Modakam. So here Modakam, here this, you become Motam. So you are becoming blessed, blissful in this. When you get Parajnanam, you get Pramodam. Become you are Anandam, Nityanandam. That is somewhere else. So why did Nachiketa state this one? He is now indicating to Yama, oh Lord, now I'm going for the second boon. This is all about Swargam. Now, if Nachiketa wanted Swargam, you could simply say, oh, don't all these things, put me in Swarga, finish. One simple sentence. Vedas are always economic in words. Why should they elaborate it? Because you will see in the boon how he asks, the implication of Swarga, Swargyam, the sadhana to attain Swarga is not for him. Because he knows his father is longing for Swarga. He did all this yajna. But what this yajnam, all this leads to Swarga means this knowledge seems to be a very secret knowledge. Only few people know it. I must get this knowledge from Yama and give it to everybody else. That is his motive. So therefore he is saying, this is the Swarga. Then he goes next one. Sattum Agnim Swargyam Adyeshi Mrityo Brabruhi Tvam Shraddhadanaya Vaksham Swargalogo Amrtatvam Vachanta Etate Tutiyena Vrane Varena. Etate Tutiyena Vrane Varena. This one I'm asking, Tutiyena Vrane Varena. I am locking as a second boon. Tutiya means second. What is that he's asking for? Satvam. May you, what you have to do, oh Mrityu, oh Lord of death, Adhyasi, teach me. What do you want me to teach you? Teach me that leads me to Swargam. Swargyam means it's a Swarga sadhanam. Teach me. Now, he did not stop that. He did not say Swargyam Adhyeshi. That means teach me the way to go to Swargam. No. Because he is a learned boy. And he is very specific. This is all how you communicate. When you communicate, when you want a very specific answers, your questions should be unambiguous, very directive, polite, and all that kind of stuff. So he says, Agnim Swagyam. You teach me that Agni, which leads to Swarga. You see? That's what he's saying. Let's see what it is. Then, Prabhu hi tvam Shraddhanaya Mahyam. Why should I tell you if Yama thinks like this? Mahyam Shraddhanaya. I am with a great Shraddha. I am not just asking, sometimes you ask a question to the teacher or whoever is giving the answers. The moment the question is asked, you take a coffee break. That is not Shraddha. When the question is asked, then you are thinking about the next question, not listening to the answer. That's not Shraddha. See, if you really look back in life, every time when you had a problem in life, it is almost always, a communication gap, a misunderstanding. The misunderstanding is because the communicator did not communicate well, or the listener did not understand well. The understanding or communicating well is not just the language, syntax, or semantics of it. This is the emotion involved in this, the perception involved in this, the childlike mind, hearing as it is, it's not inside. So if this guy is coming and talking to me, before even he says something, I know he's a bad guy, my judgmental, Then whatever he says, I put a filter there. That filter will filter out all the good things, pick out the bad things. So it's very important. So here he says, the Shraddha here contains so many, all those emotional readiness, commitment, intellectual ability, piousness, politeness, Sishtacharam. Acharam is not only for Guru. Shishya has to be an acharam. You cannot go to a Guru and say, oh, he's my Guru, I am his Shishya. You have no right to say you are a Shishya unless you follow the acharam of it. Shraddha is important acharam. So he says, reveal to me you, because I am the Shraddha. What do you have to remove to me? So he says, sorry about the interruption. So he says, give me that boon. This is my second boon. Give me that Amardatvam Bhajanta. Amardatva means that mukti, that moksham, the long immortality that he's talking about. Give me that. So, what is the essence of this? He is now asking, teach me the Agni. So here I think we should take the Agni as Agni Vidya. So the Agni Vidya is, I'll give you a few things what Bhagavan describes in a nutshell so that we understand it. Because this Kathopanishad, you're going to see what Yama taught to Nachiketa did not come in the Upanishad for this particular boon. The story moves to the glory of the boon, because this is already in the Aranyakam, in the Brahmanam of the Vedas. So only those who follow this Purva Mimamsam can talk about the ritual part of it. But there is a philosophical part of it, and there is the tatparyam of it. So I will try to explain a little bit. So Agni Vidya, what is Agni? So Agni is, we generally say Agni is heat, right? What is heat? No, you cannot say, no, I touch the cup. The cup is hot. The cup has got a heat in it. No, that's not really technically correct. So heat, what we measure as heat is the temperature. The temperature, in fact, heat has got two kinds of heat. In physics, if you remember the O-level, A-level physics, there's a sensible heat, that means which you can sense it. The measurement is a temperature, and there is a latent heat. So when you take the sensible heat and the latent heat together, that contribute to the heat that we call the thermal energy we talk about. The sensible heat is the temperature is, what is the temperature? Temperature is the change in the vibration of the molecules in this thing. The molecules or atom, when they vibrate, it dissipates this energy, thermal energy, and the more it vibrates, more the temperature increases. It's called a kinetic energy. In fact, kinetic energy is motion. So everything is vibrating in this world. Internally it vibrates, even it is stationed. If you take air, the still air, if you look at the still air, the molecules in the air are vibrating. But we don't call it a kinetic energy, because kinetic energy requires a direction. The wind comes in, then all the molecules are going in the particular direction, then you can measure the kinetic energy. But there is also a potential energy that is a cause of the vibration. So the cause of the vibration and the vibration makes the whole universe. The cosmic dance, we call it. And it dissipates this energy. That is Agni. But when it dissipates, then it goes away, right? Is it an infinite depository that goes away? It is, but it goes and comes and goes and comes. That's why it is called a vibration, oscillation. It's not just explosion. Explosion and gravitation. Explosion is Agni in Vedas, and the gravitation Soma. Agnishcha, Somascha. That means the outward movement or the inward movement, like the heart that pumps out, takes in, pumps out, takes in. That heartbeat, the rhythm is Agnihi, Somaha. So that means it is universal. It means universal. So that Agni Vidya. Now this is all, Vedas are, no, it's not just a scientific principle. It's all in Vedas. Ridhaschideva Anubhridaha Guha. All the rhythm, or the universal law is given by the Vedas. Vishpadim Saptataram. The sun has got 7 rays. All this, you can see all. As I said, Vedas are very economical in words, coded. So all those scientific laws, especially in this kind of a cosmic laws, are there in Vedas. So coming back to Agni. Therefore, Agni is defining or identifying with that fundamental oscillation that creates the whole universe of it. Everything is made of Agni. You'll see how there are different kinds of Agni, but you'll see how. So that Agni is, okay, I'll say how different kinds of Agni. There are three kinds of Agnis. In the Agni, what we put in is an oblation. Havis. You saw, we normally say Vedic religion is all about growing fire, right? And generally, I mean, the Orientalists who wrote about all this thing, they say, yeah, they were primitives. They don't know what it is. They worshipped. They thought that by putting something into the fire, it goes to the god and all kind of stuff. I can tell you, those rituals are not ritualistic, not religious. They are very logical because it makes you become one with the universe. Agni Vidya is a means by which you lose your bonds. We say sometimes freedom is, if I tell my daughter, don't drink that, and say, look, Dad, I'm an adult. I have my own freedom. I can drink it. Now, we take that as a freedom because we think we are individual. When you have the individualism, identity with something that you have as our freedom is defined wrongly, I would say. Why? Because I need to see this movie. I will drink this drink. I'll go to the pub. If I make all this as my freedom, as Vedanti would say, no, that's a slavery because you are slave to your senses. Freedom is that you are able to control this one. Freedom is, that means how can I control it? That means I don't have this I-ness in me. I see that, the moment I say this is me, I am bound. Right? So that means I must lose this I from me. If I lose my I, would I become non-existent? No. You become the universal consciousness. You become universality. I am no different from you, from the tree, from the sky, from the sea, from the ocean. Because everything gross is of the Panchapudas. We saw that in Panchikaranam, we saw in Tattvabodha. So here we are talking about that fundamental nature of ourselves. Well, for the Vyapakarikam, this is where Bhagavan Shankara did a great help. Nobody could understand all this. He injected this Vyavahari Satyam and Paramatma Satyam and say in the empirical world, no problem. You can say, I am this body and I can do this. See, the evolution is when you're born to a family, you must support the family. There's nothing wrong in this to protect and feed because it's a duty. Because the family, the parents, especially given you the body and the nurturing nature of it, you pay back. Then you give it to society, to the world. That's what Nachiketa is doing. The second boon. It's the third part. The third part is I can pray for the whole world. I can do at my home a yajna. The yajna can be to bring peace to the whole world. And if I do it well, my yajna will bring peace to the world. But I cannot do any yajna to liberate the world. I can't even do a yajna to liberate my wife from samsara, my children. No. Because when you come to your emancipation, redemption, liberation, freedom, moksha, mukti, it is you, adhyatma. You see the difference? This is where I think the Jnana Kantam is moving away. That's why Vedantam people are very afraid to go, because it loses the sense of individuality. Forget about you. When you come, even if you come as a husband, wife, father and mother, um, father and son into a class, in the Vedantic class, you are individual jivas looking for redemption. That's how Vedanta goes. So here, the Agni Vidya is like that. So Vedas gives you the Agni Vidya in the Karma Kanda. I think it's worthwhile talk a little bit more on this. If you take the Vedas, it is giving you for your Purushartham. What is a Purushartham? Dharmartha Kama Moksha. Normally we take Dharmartha Kamam as the Laukika life. Moksha is something which we really don't care. It is beyond our life. So when we get older, we can talk about moksha. Now, we look at it differently. Dharmartha Kama Moksham, we slice into two parts. Dharma Artham, Kama Moksha. Dharmam and Artham here Dharma is not Dharma. Dharma is a loaded word. Here Dharma is Punya. Dharmam, Artham. Artham is resources. These two are your sadhanas. You need to achieve them to do something else. To do what? Kamam and moksha. Kamam is empirical happiness, that you are joyful, happy. Moksha is permanently happy, totally happy, blissful, anavaradam, nityam. So we defined blissful state in two ways. The sukam that comes from the kamam, including Swargaloka, the anandam that comes from the moksha. To do this, Vedas gives you two things. Dharma artham. Artham is your acquisition of resources in this world, so that live in this world with dharma, different dharma, righteousness, you do it. When you do righteousness, if you do your karmas, you accumulate dharma. This dharma is punyam. You accumulate punyam. What does the punyam do? The punyam is nothing but artha for the next janma. This janma, I come with an artha. My body is an artha. Sometimes I may have 5 fingers, sometimes 4 fingers only. Sometimes I may be born with a deaf, So whatever I got is my artha. My family is an artha. My job, education is artha. But this artha I should spend the righteous way, and it creates punya to give artha in the next janma. The next janma, I may be born to be a millionaire son in a scholarly family, and I may have all beautiful, handsome artha. So how can I know this? You can know it only by Shraddha, because the punyam is adrishtapalam. So what do you have to do? You do rituals, you do this yajnam. You put that in the fire. You grow fire and put things into this. It's kind of a rituals there, right? How does it make sense? How can I put something into the Agni? Now, knowing Agni is the essence of everything in this world, cosmic fire. Therefore, everything is created by it. So its presence is there everywhere. And everything that we do is therefore yajna. This is the conclusion of Vedas. How is it possible? When you eat, what are you doing? You are eating something, put into your mouth. When you're drinking water, what are you quenching? You're quenching the thirst. Thirst is the fire. You quench it. The food that you eat is called Jadaragni. Jadaragni. Vaishvana fire. So in fact, Bhagavan says in Gita, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritah. Prana Apana Samyuktah. Pachamyam Chaturvidam. So, Bhagavan says, I become Vaishvanara fire in your digestive fire. In all the pranina, in every body, I am the fire that digests. Jadaragni. So this fire is in me, is creating the hunger and thirst. And what I do, I eat. So what I am doing, I am quenching this fire, or literally speaking, I am pacifying the fire. Is it not? I'm pacifying the fire. So to pacify the fire, what do? I put this food. Now, if I understand it, eating is therefore not hogging for my sensual pleasures. Sensual pleasures is a byproduct of it. Eating is a yajna I am doing it. And the Vaishvanara fire that's me in my stomach is a cosmic fire. What kind of reverence I must have? So to propitiate the fire, to make the fire happy, I should give food that is pure. So what do? I take some water, because water is a purifier, only next to the fire. I can't carry the fire to purify. It'll burn me. So I take water, because water contains soma. It contains fire. And I recite the Gayatri Mantram. I do a pariseshanam. I take this water and throw around this food I'm going to eat. Symbolically, it purifies. Naturally, it purifies. The moment you think of Ganga, think of Gayatri Mantram, purification comes in. Then, of course, when you are formally educated, formally trained in this parisation, they'll say, Pranaya Swaha, Pranaya Swaha, Pranaya Swaha. So you are now dividing the Agni into what? Different Vayu. Now you see, Vayu come from the Agni. Because Agni, Hiranyagarbha came into Agni, Vayu, Aditya. So the Vayu, the Prana Vayu is therefore Agni. Pranaha is Agni. The Pranaha is split into Prana Vayu, Apana Vayu, Dana Vayu. It is Agni. So I am giving that food. When I eat that food, when you do parisation next time, you see, you are making the food pure and you are putting it in the mouth. So what are you doing is you are quenching the fire inside you by good food. So the fire inside you is the first type of Agni. Adhyatma Agni. How much time I have? Okay. I'll take 10 minutes, 5 minutes extra maybe. So the Adhyatma Agni is the first type of Agni, which is in every prani. Now from Bhagavad Gita, we know that is nothing but Bhagavan himself. Because he said that, Aham Vaishvanaraho Agni. I am the one. Don't insult. That's why anybody is hungry, you're feeding, you're performing in an agyam. You're performing an agyam. So, what is the second one? The second one is Adhyatmikam, then Adibhautikam. Adibhaudika means everything physical in this world. So everything is physical in the world. If the Agni is in me, it is in you, it is in the tree, it is in the animal, it is in everything. So all these gross bodies I see as also have this thirst and hunger. Of course, I do it in the see. I don't just think food. Okay, anything that is creating a consuming power in you, it's an Agni. Hearing is an Agni. Without that power of Agni, you cannot have hearing them. So what do you have to do? You don't put food in your mouth. You put nice words, hitam, shunu. So you hear nice words. Eyes see the nice thing. Bhatram garne. You know, all the sloga you say. So all your panjatni in your five senses, you feed. Every time you feed, you do yagyam. So therefore you become very reverential in what you take, what you hear, what you say, what you eat, what you drink. They come from purity because you're doing yagyam. Now you see, the moment you see eating is a yagyam, it is no more a bhogam, but a yogam, a yagam, a tapas. That's why sometimes you don't do blindly fasting all the time. Sometimes people say, I take 10 days fasting. No, don't do that. Vaishwan Agni is there. You have to eat moderate food. The rhythm you take to not to eat for 6 hours, 5 hours is because control your mind. When you control the mind, eating is not an inhibitor of it. You can eat. My father used to say, eat fully and then come to the temple. Doesn't matter. Because at least you quell one disturbance, you can focus on the God. So take a balanced view. I'm not blaming Vradam. You must take Vradam. Vradam for the Sankalpam to nurture your mind to have the steadfast power over your senses. But you don't starve your Vaishvana Agni, Jana Agni. So Adhyatma Agni is like this. Therefore, Adibhautika Agni should be Agni everywhere. I can do in a Panchamaha Yajnam every day. I feed the birds, I put water, I give Aditi Devanam, I give somebody a food. I try to do it. But there's no way I can feed the whole universe. How can I do it? Vedas gives you a way. You can do it because everything, every gross nature turns into subtle nature. An apple, when you eat, the apple is digested and the rasam becomes your majja, your raktam, and everything. Everything translated into a subtle part. Same way, therefore, subtle part can become a gross part. A photon, quanton become an atom, molecule, build things. So there is no difference what you do as a subtle nature or a sukshma nature, as long as you do with a shraddha. So Vedas gives you, for the adibhautika yajna, you construct havans, yoga kunda. So in the yoga kundam, you in the havan, in the altar, you can create a bhavana, the whole cosmic person. This is Raja, this is Balaji, this is Naresh, this is Lakshmi, all this, all forgotten and merged into one Purusha called Virat. The Virat Purusha, if you imagine the whole universe is one man, one person, he has hunger, thirsty, and I'm going to give oblations to him. Therefore, I construct an altar. We will talk about in the next class what is the altar means. In the altar, Homakundam, the havan, I will put my, whatever I eat, whatever I think I need to give, food, clothing, money, many things. I put inside.
So,
But when I put it inside, it stays there. It doesn't go. But to make it go, I must invite the ultimate consumer, Agni, a physical Agni. So therefore, I create this fire in the altar to represent the Virat fire, the fire of this universe, symbolically. If the fire is in the Deepam or in Annamalai mountain or it's a cosmic fire, all the same. The scale is different. So therefore, whenever you see in the temples or the rituals they do yajnam, it is not okay. You may do with a sakama yajnam. Now I do this for putra kameshti yagam. You can do this. But Vedas are very clever. What she tells you when you want to do this putra kameshti yagam, you do this yajna, you do this all this, you get the putra, but you think it's the main purpose of it, and you achieve it if you follow the rules. But Vedas consider them as a supplementary prayojana. You attain it because you wanted it, but you are doing what is needed for the nature. You are feeding the cosmic Purusha, Virat. Okay? This is the Adibhautika Agni. So Adhyatma Agni, how you live your life. Adibhautika Agni, a very deliberate physical act of karma. Then the third one is Adidhaivika. Adidhaivika means divine, completely subtle, beyond the Virat. So what is beyond the Virat? The Virata Purushaka is the gross cosmic body. Like my body, cosmic body. If I, like what Bhagavan showed in the Vishwarubha Darshan, a huge person with thousands of head, Sakasastilsha Purushaka, Sakasracha, Sakasrabhat. Virat. Why can't we see him? Because he's Virat, gross. He'll be gone. Another Virat will come. Like another Raja may come, another person may come when this body is gone. But there is inside the Virat, the Jiva Shakti, the Prana Shakti is Hiranyagarbha. Like the Jiva Bhavam inside me, there is a Hiranyagarbha. So the Adhidevi Agni is a Hiranyagarbha Agni or Prana. Prana is Agni. So how do I do the oblation to the Prana? When you do the oblation to the Virat, you do karma. Physically, you do dravyams. Fire, ghee is put in there. 100 coconuts are broken. Bananas put. Rice is put. All that is karma. How does it go to the Hiranyagarbha? The Hiranyagarbha is the essence of Virat, right? Therefore, the same altar in the Adibhautika or the same body in Adhyatmika, if you do that with the contemplation of Hiranyagarbha, that karma becomes upasana. You understand? So the same ritual you do, it reaches the gross power Virat by a gross act. You get a gross benefit. But if you want to get subtle benefit, you must do subtle act. The subtle act does not require your body, it requires your mind alone. But still an act it is. Therefore, that act of mind alone is not called karma, but called upasana. So when you do upasana, you attain subtle power. Now, can I therefore not do karma? Because I know, like Arjuna, do sannyasa, why should do karma? Jnanam is good, why should do bhakti? No, you want to jump, go to the PhD. No, no, no. You have to do karma and upasana. Somebody asked me in the temple last week, oh, I'm very devoted to Lord, and why should I do the puja? I'm devoted my mind. We sometimes say when you have no time to go to temple or don't do the puja, oh, they're all just not needed because it's all in the mind. If you're sincere, devoted, that's fine. Not really. You need devotion, but you need puja. A devoted puja is what you need. You cannot separate, you cannot do one without the other. The rituals are not superficial. You must do it. It is frightening because if you do wrongly, it may hurt you. Yes, but don't ask for personal things. Then it doesn't matter if you make it wrong. It's not that you do deliberately wrongly. So karmas are important. So when you do the karma and upasana, if you do as a two act, can you do a two act? I do. Just now we heard this Rama Karnamritam. What if Rama Karnamritam gives you? It gives you the meaning of the shloka. You don't need the meaning of the shloka. When you recite, it's beautiful. It's soothing. It puts your mind at rest. You go to Rama's statue or picture, sing the Rama Karnamritam, ask for anything, you get it what you want. Ritual. For him, the Bhagavatam slogam, so we explain Bhagavatam slogam. But when you take the glory of Rama, glory of Krishna, glory of Shiva, and then when you think about that in your mind, you are doing upasana. Upasamipe asana. When you are near God, is upasana. Upavasam, not fasting. Upavasam is being near God. So upasana means when you contemplate on the glory of the God, what's the time? Okay. 5 minutes. So, but can I do separately? Is it possible, for example, I say, Achudaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govinda. After I finish eating, I'll sit down and say, what is Achuda? What is Ananta? Can you do that way? You can do that. At least you must start at the early part of it. When you finish your pujas, do it blindly, mechanically, correctly. Then you take 10 minutes, sit down and say, take one mantra. What does it say? It is upasana. Now, Kathopanishad, one of the benefit of it, this is why this Upanishad is very special. It's not jumping into the Vedanta. It says, karma, upasana should be together. It's called karma jnana samuchayam. Samuchayam means one merged with one another. Samuchayam. They are equal. Karma jnana samuchayam. This jnanam here is not Brahma jnanam, Atma jnanam. Here the jnanam is jnanam about what karma you are doing. This is about knowing the purpose of that mantra, meaning of the mantra, the glory of the mantra, and contemplating. About is upasana. Karma vasana samuchayam. This karma jnana samuchayam. So the Agni Vidya is, this is what I wanted to say. So the Agni Vidya is therefore, is a karma jnana samuchayam. It is a karmopasana, pranopasana. It is a upasana to the fire. Because the prani is, that has got a prana. So prana is everywhere. So when you do upasana to the Agni, it is called karmopasana or Agni Vidya. Understand? So what is he asking? He's asking Lord Yama, teach me that Agni Vidya because I have the Shraddha and I know the Agni Vidya can take one to the Swarga, Swargyam. It is sadhana to Swarga. Is it because Nachiketa wants to go to Swarga? No. He elaborated what is Swarga is, he knows it. But here he is asking that because I don't want everybody to suffer like my father, doing things without fully understanding it. But I want an opportunity that everybody knows what is it that they need to do in life to achieve happiness in this world, go to Swarga if they want to, and even transcend that. And to do that, if I need Agni Vidya, please, Yama, you tell me. He says please because of Hitam. But Yama has no choice, but he has to give because he has committed to give 3 boons. And this is second boon. Etatu Titiyena Marine. Pranay, I wish. So let's stop it here. So, in summary, first boon has been given that will make his father happy, his family happy. Second boon is been raised. It is about Agni Vidya. We briefly learned what is Agni Vidya is. But the actual doing is not in our remit to understand. We need to go to a different learning process. But we start respecting Vedic rituals as not some primitive, unscientific, time-wasting fire yajna, but it is bringing the individuality to the universality. In the class, we see the second boon, and then we go to the third boon. Om Sagana Bhavatu.
Om Sagana Bhavatu.
Sakanau Punattu.
Saganau Bhunaktu.
Sagaviryam Karabhavahai.
Sahaviryam Karavavahe.
Tejasvinamadidastu.
Tejasvinavaditamastu.
Ma Vitvishavahai.
Mahavidvisavahe.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raja.